What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the TradeMarke, and we've got a good one for you today. Got my boy Tommy Guns on the show, Tommy Mello. Tommy, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm really glad to be here. It's going to be fun.
Super excited. We got a lot of good stuff that we're going to be chatting about, and I hope that you all are as excited as I am. So let's go ahead and dig in.
Step into the TradeMarke, your go-to podcast for everything marketing in the trades. Hosted by award-winning industry marketing experts Sarah Ghirardo from Remarkable and Eric Thomas from Rival Digital. Together, we're here to unite the worlds of trades and marketing, bringing you insights, stories, and strategies from the heart of the industry. Whether you're a trade professional, a marketing expert, or somewhere in between, this is the place for you. Listen in as we're here for the big ideas, the game changers, and the everyday successes. Because at the TradeMarke, we're with the trades and for the trades.
Oh, what's going on? I've got a really good question of the day for you all. And Tommy, I'm super excited to hear your answer about this one. Tommy, if you were stranded on an island and you could only have three things, what would they be and why?
Oh my gosh. On an island, so no electricity or what?
No electricity.
No electricity. So I couldn't have my golden tea. Is this people, things? Could I have my dog?
Three.
I mean,
It's three. Just think about it like three.
yeah,
Don't
okay.
overthink it.
Okay, so I want a golden tea because I love the game. I probably have a pool table. I mean, if it's not people, I'll forget Bree and my parents and my sister and niece, nephews and all that. I'd probably want my dogs with me though. So some stuff to do, and they just bring me a lot of joy. They're kind of like kids, but they don't talk back.
I don't know. My dog's pretty loud.
I agree. Well, super excited to dig in. Sarah, how are you doing?
Great, as always.
Great as always. And Tommy, you've been doing a lot lately. You got a lot of things moving around. Let's catch the listeners up because we know we've recorded before, but if you don't mind, just go ahead and tell our listeners out there, some of the stuff that you've been up to over the past year or so.
Yeah, it's been a busy year. The podcast, The Home Service Expert, is number 12 in North America on Apple for business, and it's number 1 for business management. There's nothing I like more than doing this kind of stuff, learning from people, having conversations, taking notes and implementing. So that's fantastic. I live in another house now in Paradise Valley, and we're doing a lot of construction between Paradise Valley, Arizona and Sandpoint, Idaho. And I thought I was going to hate the construction, but I'm actually liking the idea of my dreams coming to life. So that's great. I hired a chef and I hired a driver, and I say that as humbly as possible. I'm working with Dan Martell, the author of Buy Back Your Time, and just really starting to get focused on where my time is best spent. And I started taking health very, very seriously. More energy, better sleep, better food, less alcohol, the whole thing. I've got the ice bath and the sauna, very hard working out, and just really traveling a lot. A1, we bought a new company 2 days ago, bought another one that'll close on the 23rd. Hired some really, really, really amazing assets for the company. These people are just so amazing. And A1 every week, practically every day, every month, every quarter has been a record. And, a lot of people say it's so hard for home service right now. And I just completely disagree. I think that people got to change their mindset and focus on the who, not how. And I've just, I just got baptized. So I've always been very strong in faith with Jesus Christ. But my mom and dad didn't remember if I got baptized. So I was like, got to make sure that that's getting done. So going to church every Sunday when I'm not traveling, speaking on a lot of fun stages, working on a couple more books, just staying busy, but truly enjoying it. Like I'm doing what's easy, lucrative, and fun. Like I don't feel like I ever go to work. And I truly mean that. Like so many people you see on these type of podcasts, you see what they say and they don't do, like they live this nightmare outside of what like their social profile. And I'm really, really having a lot of fun. And I'm really, each day is like a fun token for me. It's just, you couldn't really get it much better. And I truly mean that. So it's been a fun ride, and I'm having fun with where we're going, and I'm actually enjoying the journey. I'm reflecting more. So there's a lot more, but that's kind of a nutshell.
Yeah, that's a lot, which is great, right? Like everyone loves to have a lot to do. But what do you do for fun? Like this is fun. Like to me, this is fun. But like fun.
Yeah, so I just went on a golf trip. We went to Traverse City, Michigan. I had my cousins, my dad, my brother-in-law, his brothers. It was about 24 of us. I enjoy golfing. I played a lot of pickleball. I was in Milwaukee with my sister and my niece and nephews for July 4th. We had a lot of fun. I got them. I'm paying them for a book club to read a book a month, $400 each. We read Rich Dad, Poor Dad together, and I them. Like I said, I play a lot of Golden Tee and Big Buck Hunter when I'm at the house. Don't watch a lot of TV. Working out's fun. Walking's fun. We do a lot. I don't consider work and fun to be opposites. I try to find this work-life pleasure all the time. And I'm just getting really serious about who I'm hanging around with and who I'm building relationships with. And I'm working on saying no, which is very difficult for me because I try to pay it forward. But it's almost selfish of me not to say no, because there are people that depend on me for a lot of things. And I can't be everything to everyone. But yeah, listen, I do a lot. I go bowling quite a bit. I do enjoy the movie theater. I do a lot more than people think. They think I only work. They think I'm like this machine that doesn't sleep. I know how to turn off and just chill. And I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I will say, played Buck Hunter at your house at Service World Expo last year against Justin Judd from Chirp. And I just want to say he had an unfair advantage because my gun wasn't working. That's the story that I will stick with for the rest of my life. You mentioned Buy Back Your Time. This is an awesome book, by the way, for anyone listening. Totally love that. And that's cool that you're working with Dan. I also heard you mention that you've like hired a driver and a cook and some other stuff, which I imagine is probably, some of the concepts you got out of that book. What has following and practicing and implementing these type of, these, I guess, tactics or this strategy, if you will, how has that affected kind of your day-to-day performance and your bandwidth and everything like that?
It's everything. I can't even put it into words because I've studied under Al Levy, the 7-power contractor, and he taught me all the principles to own and run a business and paint a vision and delegate properly and manual standard operating procedures and the structure, the organizational chart. And I never applied these things to my personal life. So now there's 2 pieces of floss in the shower. I brush my teeth in the shower. The toothpaste is already on the toothbrush. I mean, it's over the top. We've like the procedures, like I didn't even ask for this. We just hired somebody super experienced. They wear shirts that says Mello Estates. Literally, like I didn't pack my bag. It's packed. I've got the whole Zoom meeting set up in the Mercedes Sprinter van. And I really am saying this humbly. Like, I'm not saying like, look at me, look at this cocky guy. Like, I'm a blue collar guy. I wear the same shirt. I got 15 of these shirts. Like, I want to be very like people to understand where I'm coming from. I thought I don't need all those things. And then Dan was like, what do you mean? Do you want to be productive? You want to own your schedule. So like, I mean, I just had the most amazing meal ever. That we're literally putting all my food into this app, and I know my macros, and I feel more energy, and it's healthy and it's delicious. It's so much easier to get things done than I've ever thought possible. I've got an amazing executive assistant. We're bringing on a second one. We've got a media team. I'm hiring 15 more people for that. I've got 63 brand new technicians and installers starting next month. It's allowing me to scale quicker and delegate more. And, all of I take NAD, I take a shot of that every morning. It's all set up. I started drinking really, really good water out of this copper thing, and it's all set up. It's like, I can't really put into words how much easier my life has got. It was the best investment I've ever made. And anybody that just has the ability and the resources to get that, I can't, until you feel how great it is. It's just, I'm always the person that wants to take the fastest way to get to a destination. And the shortcuts, the easy, like I don't have to make my bed and I don't mind making my bed, but the way they make the bed, it's like I sleep better. And I started wearing this Aura ring, so I'm keeping track of my sleep. It's very, very, it's like I'm enjoying life at a deeper level. I really am. And I'm smiling more and I'm happier and I'm more energetic. And it's important. And I'm putting a lot more time and energy into my health and into my just aura and just this, like how I treat other people and reflecting more. So I know that's a long sentence, but it's really, really impactful with what we're working on.
Yeah. And I think it's important to get rid of the $10 task. And that's what I tell Eric, right? I'm like, why are you mowing your lawn? Like, why are you cleaning your house? Right? Like
minimum wage crap.
Right. Like, and it's not just crap. It's just like, it's your salary is more than that. Like, don't spend your time doing a $10 task when there are people that would love to do those $10 tasks.
Yeah, don't do the $10 task because you'll end up with poison ivy. And Sarah's like, "What are you gonna do about it?" I was like, "I'm gonna go get a prednisone shot at urgent care after work." She was like, "No, what are you actually gonna do about it?"
Yeah, right. They said, yeah, most definitely. And I love that you're delegating in the most humble way, right? Of course, as you get more money, you get more things that happens, but your lifestyle changes. But it's about changing it to make you more efficient and automated, just as you are in business, is what I would say and what I'm working towards, right? As a single mom, you're just like, how can I automate this? Who can do this for me? Like, what's the delegation look like? And what's the task management? So I think what you're saying completely makes sense. As you have more resources, the resources are to develop more efficiency in your life, to make a more joyous life and more joyous time, right?
Well, memories and experiences are all we have. So might as well make the most out of them and optimize each and every day. I actually like traveling. I hate being away. Dogs become kids. I don't have kids yet. I think it's in the future. I think I'll be a great dad. I mean, I think that'll become my life. I think that's what's supposed to happen. And I always planned since I was a son, when I was born on my mom's birthday, I just said, man, I want to be a parent. I want to love something more than myself. And I do love a lot of people more than me, but I don't mind like jumping on a plane and like doing fun stuff. I'm one of those people that I need to be around people, but I'm trying to force myself to be alone as well, to just get comfortable speaking to myself and getting to know myself more. I mean, I've got voices in my head, like I'm doing math all the time. I've got my calculator. It's the most open app on my phone, but man, it's so much fun. And if you just look and enjoy the journey, it's not the destination, and make the most out of it, better your best. I'm the worst I've ever been, but the best I've ever been, but the worst I'll ever be. Because tomorrow, I guarantee I'm going to be a little bit better. I'm pushing myself. Instead of doing 100 push-ups, I switched to 200. Instead of 100 crunches, I'm doing 300. I couldn't do legs yesterday anymore, so I forced myself to I was going to throw up blood. And it sounds like torture, but it's just seeing how far I could go. It's releasing the endorphins and serotonin and the chemicals and the sleep with the free testosterone flowing and the human growth hormone that comes out of 7 hours of sleep. And it's not hard. It's just getting in the ritual, getting the habits. And I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. How have these lifestyle changes, like these, it sounds like, really, really solid things you got going on. How have those affected like just business in general and like the way you lead people and lead your businesses?
Well, it's obvious I have ADHD. So I find myself without brain fog, remembering more things, being way more organized, and I'm putting the right people around. Like my goal is to maintain the vision of everything I do, but be the dumbest guy that doesn't need to do the work. I'm not there yet. I'm still, the question I ask people is, how does the business look if you leave for 60 days and don't touch a thing? But does the business grow as much when you're not there? And the first question is like, the business would be fine in 60 days, got great people, but no, it wouldn't grow as much. So these are the things I'm solving for internally. But now I'm able to invest in other things. And it's not only about money, it's about time and relationships as well. But it's fun. And I like where we're going with things. And there's so many fun things coming up, and just this whole, when you start focusing on your dreams, and people forget to dream. I just ordered it's a replica, but the original Adam West Batmobile. I got Kit from Knight Rider. I'm kind of a nostalgic guy, and it's not to be like, look at me. It's like, dude, this brings me back to all the memories of some of the greatest times of my life. And if you lived my life, you'd probably say, man, there's a version of my life that you'd say, man, that sucked, dude. Mom and dad got a divorce. Dad cheated on mom. A lot of alcohol, a lot of hard work, a lot of just eating dinner alone. But I don't look at it like that. I look at it like, man, I had 2 Christmases. Mom and dad did the best they could with the cards they were given. So many cool friends. So great growing up in Michigan, in Sterling Heights. Like, everything was a gift. So, and the more my brain is working like it is, with the right sleep and giving it the right resources, I think you start looking at life more optimistically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so how did growing up like that influence the way that you are today in your business?
Well, I used to stand on the toilet outside of my parents' bedroom on their master bedroom, and listen to them argue about bills. And that led to divorce and a lot of other things. And so at 4 years old, I just decided back then, and I remember that I'm never going to let money ruin relationships anymore. So I learned how to work hard. Back then, mow lawn, shovel snow till I was 12, still under the table because you couldn't get a job till you were 13, wash dishes. And that really did a toll with me, because until money was out of the way, it was almost like I couldn't move forward. But that was okay. I had to get that out of the way, because this idea hanging over my head of the generations, the curse of the generations being stuck, is lifted now. And Jesus has done a number on my life and my family's life. So it definitely impacted it, and call it for good or bad. I look at it as a gift, but I'm going to be a late bloomer in family life, but it's going to be an extraordinary life. And I've kind of built what it looks like. I had to reverse engineer what's 75. If I'm 75 years old today, what did I do when I was 41? Who did I hang out with? Who did I travel with? What did I get accomplished? How do people perceive me? And really, a life not predetermined, but it's built with purpose. It was planned. It was ordained. And I know that sounds crazy, but it takes a lot of self-reflection and time to kind of do these things. And all I could do is smile, because it's really fun. And I know I said that a lot, but it is. It is.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're having fun. And so what legacy do you hope to leave behind as, you envision what your future looks like? Like, what's that legacy look like? Is it to create a family generational business? Is it to obviously create generational wealth for whoever is in and around you? Because that's what it seems like you're already doing. But what is that legacy?
When I wrote the book, Elevate, Build a Business Where Everybody Wins, and the main premise now is I'm focused on people's dreams and unpeeling that onion. And money's only one of dozens of things: time, purpose, traveling, being able to raise kids the right way. There's so much more to it than money. Money's a big piece. Don't get me wrong. When you don't have it, you need it. But I just want to be the guy that people, if Tommy was part of your life, and I'll speak like Trump in the third person, but if Tommy was part of your life, things got better. He found the best in people. When he said he was going to do something, he did it, and he led by example. And he's a guy that, by getting to know him, it definitely enhanced life. It wasn't a drag. It wasn't a victim. He didn't put people down. He didn't talk bad. He brightened up people's day, and he was energetic. And if I could leave that legacy, that he helped me accomplish dreams, even if somebody worked with me or partnered with me and it didn't work out for the long term, it was just better to know each other. And usually in relationships, there's a person that gives the most. I want to be that person every time.
I love that.
I could definitely attest, because I feel like I've known you for about a year now, and I attended the Home Service Freedom event, and you invited me over to your house at Service World Expo, and I don't think we even met before, and can definitely attest that you definitely give more than you get, and anyone that's around you feels warm, for sure. I felt very welcome and around you. So I definitely appreciate that. And I think, speaking in the third person there, I speaking in the first person for myself, I definitely would agree with what you said.
I thought you were going to speak in third person. Eric really likes Tommy.
Eric likes Tommy. Yeah. But yeah, that's great stuff. And, we definitely appreciate, just the vulnerability and the openness for sure. That's really cool. There's something that, that I definitely want to chat about, and I'm totally taking a 180 here on the topics, but, it's mostly about marketing because, we talk about marketing a lot on this show. And I know that you,
I know.
I know that Tommy loves marketing, and I know that, Eric knows that Tommy loves marketing, and Tommy loves marketing. So I definitely I would be remiss if we didn't chat about marketing here for some time, because you love marketing and you have a background in marketing, and it seems like you do a really, really good job marketing everything that you touch, from Home Service Freedom to A1 to Kick Charge to all the different things that, that you're involved with. What, from your perspective, what have been some of the big changes in marketing over the past year? Because there's been a ton that I feel like has evolved. What are some of the things that you're seeing from a marketing perspective, both in the home service industry and maybe even outside of it?
Well, I don't think you could talk about marketing without branding. And, I'm not talking about Kick Charge. I'm just talking about my personal brand. I think it's, whether you like or hate Grant Cardone, there's one thing that I think he said that I think could impact a lot of people. He invests in real estate and personal brand, and you can't overdo it. Like, you got to have people know who you are and stand for something. And, the more I put myself out there, yes, there's going to be haters no matter what. And they're probably in their mom's basement wishing they had this life. And that's okay. And I think they're probably fans. They don't even know it because they watched my shit. I'm not there watching theirs. So personal brand is a big piece. And, that's something I'm going to have a 20x. I'm going to compound. Like, I like where I'm going, but I'm still in the fetal stages and putting out things that really have impact. So branding's a big deal. And there's, everybody talks about Google's algorithm and what's happening with Yelp and blah, 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 blah. There's a couple of things that no one will ever take and no algorithm is going to change, and that's relationships. And that's who I'm really, the Rolodex, the people I talk about this a lot, but billionaires, they're lazy. They know the right person to call for the right things. And I buy how I want to be bought from. Like, Dan Martell gave me a price to work with them. I said, okay. I said, can I wire the money today? He's like, sure. I don't get this very often. And I said, hey, and it was a great investment. I have at any given time 7 to 10 coaches. I've got a cornhole coach to win, to beat people's ass at barbecues.
There you go.
So, I think when it comes to marketing, it's a lot about relationships. There's a lot of people that struggle, but I'll tell you the biggest mindset shift. I used to market for leads and qualified clients. Now, 90% of my brain goes after people, the people I want on the team. It's when there's a book by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy called Who Not How. When you fill the bus full of winner A player, people that aspire to be number one, life gets easy. They self-police, they pick up shifts, they get 5-star reviews, they leave raving fans, they recruit you. And those leads become worth a lot more, those client leads. That's the experience they leave them with is just extraordinary. And I just think everybody's like, I need more leads. I need more leads. Why? So your CSR could book at 50% and your conversion rate sucks and they give a 1-star review and they complain all the time because they're victims. Imagine if you stack the deck, take your top player and imagine if you could clone them 100 times. How much better would your life be? And everybody's like, leads. Yeah, well, when you're not good at business, you need more leads.
Mic drop.
Yes.
What I did there.
Absolutely.
So what's your favorite thing about marketing?
My favorite thing. Well, there's nothing that doesn't work. Yellow Book still works. I can make Angie's List work. I don't like the shared leads, even though I do them. I just like to find the best of the best, whether that's pay for performance type leads, affiliate marketing, whether that's any one of the 4 Google algorithms, whether it's TV, radio, billboards. All I do is study the best. And I fly out and see the people. And I take notes and I ask great questions and I try to give them some value. And I almost look at it like a game. Like, I don't want to win. I want to dominate. I hate losing more than I like winning. But when you see somebody that's still buying a double truck in the yellow book, why not call them and ask them, if they're a big company, they probably have attribution, and ask them what they found works. Well, this one works in this retirement community. Steer clear of this. This one you just need a column ad. And here's how it works because you mentioned AARP and this, and the other, or whatever, because we're part of this foundation. I think a lot of people go, yeah, that shit doesn't work. I'm like, yeah, it didn't work for you because you don't have the tenacity or the questions. You're not asking the right questions. Success leaves clues. And I like marketing because it's a game to me. It's like, how could I win? And I love attribution. I love making a lead worth more than anybody else could make it worth. And that's why taking care of clients and creating an experience, but giving options, not ultimatums. None of my things are, here's the price, yes or no. It's, hey, we've got 5 options for you, and then you can pick one you like. How does that sound?
I love it.
The options behind Garage Door, they're aesthetic. So they're attached to emotion, right? It's not like going into HVAC and buying like an HVAC unit when you really don't know what you're seeing. But when you're buying a garage door, you're seeing it because you like it, right?
Well,
so there's emotion tied to that.
Yeah, and also it makes your garage door 30 degrees cooler in the summer, 30 degrees warmer in the winter with the right R value U factor. Also, it's 40% of your curb appeal, the smile of your home. Also, it's the number one ROI on the home, 193%. Also, we've trademarked our parts to make sure that no one could compete because they're trademarked. They're different. I don't compare apples to apples ever. I sell.
How do you trademark your parts? How does that happen? You say ask great questions. So like, how does someone trademark parts?
Yeah. So what we did is, like, for our springs, I ordered a higher cycle. I powder coated them red, the A1 red. Yep. And the name Max Life, if you look up a1garage.com/Max, you can see our trademark. You can trademark pretty much anything if it's differentiated. There's a name to it. Then there's copyright, trademarks and copyrights. But I don't want somebody's just looking up parts. Like, we're differentiated. We've got our own stuff. We paid the lawyers to become the only version of this for our industry. And everyone else is saying, oh yeah, if you're comparing price, you can only compare price to comparable products. But if you're the only product, you kind of differentiate the whole game.
Yeah.
I had Robert Cialdini on the podcast here in person. He wrote the book Influence. He's 79 years old. And oh my gosh, this dude blew me away. Like, the stuff we're going to be implementing in the next month, the goal is 70 million of EBITDA this year. I have no doubt we'll double in the next year. And it becomes harder to double every year when you're a certain size, but it's getting easier. And I'm less important. And I actually love that. Some people, there's this book called Built to Last, and Jim Collins, and he talks about how a lot of CEOs and founders and business owners, they want to feel wanted. So like, when they're gone, they're like hoping stuff falls apart. They're like, see, you guys need me. I told you I was the best. I'm the opposite. I'm like, build a team so great that you don't even know who the boss is. And like, I don't feel like it's a really good compliment to say, oh, we need you. No. You picked the right people. You gave us the right incentives, and we're good without you. Like, we care enough that we're going to do it without you here.
Yeah.
That's such a better compliment than, see, I told you I was the man and you needed me.
That's the best, when like you leave and it actually like operates better. You're just like, oh, they actually don't need me.
I stay out of the way. Listen, I hate interrupting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll walk into people's offices and I'm like, well, sometimes when I leave, like, I like giving them their space and having them make decisions and having them want more education. And I love the team. Like, these guys the guys and gals are super. They're smart, and they want a lot. They want to win. And that's because we were very specific in who we picked to come into the company. We guard this company. We protect it. We make sure A players are coming in, and an A player will run circles around 3 B players. Like, your best CSR is better than all other 3 combined.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. So I know that you mentioned, before we hopped on here, that you are about to do a little travel, and just 30 minutes has blown by pretty quickly. So before we like kind of start landing this plane, is there anything we haven't hit on yet that you're like really wanting to kind of dig into and chat about, or anything coming up that you want to talk about?
Well, yeah, I got the HSF event. I got Jocko Willick, Alan Rohr. Darius Slivers is a genius in home service. You know, in my events, I want to make impact.
Mm-hmm.
I think this event in San Diego, September 25th through the 27th, will change people's lives forever. I'm not having this so you could book more phone calls. I'm not having this just so you could get in shape. I'm having all of it. It's going to have all of it. It's not just mindset. It's not just tactic. It's all of it. And it's impactful. We're not going to be getting wasted doing fireball shots on stage. We're going to be helping people to actually do the shit they need to do to accomplish more than just wealth and business success. It's well-rounded. So that's important. What else would I tell you? That's the most exciting thing going on is September 25th. That's when I'll be at 10% body fat. At least that's the plan.
Hey, there we go.
And that's, I set SMART goals, specific, meaningful, or measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. And, when it comes to marketing, I'll just give a few things. Chirp is being forward developed in a way that I think it will have 1,000% return on investment. And the way I know that is because it's solving all of my problems, and we're actually getting reporting with attribution. I think it's a great tool. I invest in things I love. My buddy Kellen's doing this thing, Pin Parrot, PINPARROT. And he called me up. He used to work with Yelp. And he called me up and goes, hey, I figured out Google. And I'm like, oh, you figured out Google. Sweet. And he goes, no, I seriously think this new thing that they're doing with their algorithm on the GMB or GBP, he goes, what they want to see is they want to be able to prove that you were at these houses, not just through reviews and user-generated content, but through images and through stuff that comes out of service type. And I said, so what do you propose I do? He goes, why don't you give me 3 of your, or no, he said 5 of your Google My Business pages. Give me a few grand a month for all 5. I'll throw in Scottsdale and we'll see if I'm right. I said, okay, done. I paid him for 3 months. And my VP of marketing, Robert, came out and he was like, what the F? I didn't tell him I did this. I forgot about it. And he goes, dude, our calls have quadrupled. And it was 6 GVPs. And I was like, oh yeah, you need to call Kellen. And, Kellen is this dude. He's a genius. And it's a software running in the background. And don't ask me every detail because I'm not a software guy, but this service is just these little things I find. And I love it when people call me because I'll try anything. And some of the time, here's what I tell people is if it works, I'll use it in every single, I will scale it and I will be your biggest client, but I'm going to have attribution. And just I'll talk to a new magazine company, right? They'll have a mailer and they'll call me up, but I'll say, just so you know, Julie, I'm in this for the next 3 months. But if your grandpa calls, I'll know about it, what day, what he bought. I'll know about how many calls, what the conversion rate. I know everything. And I'm holding you to, I need a 10x return. I need to be at 10% of my revenue. And if I'm not only am I not going to use you again, I will never talk good about you. And I won't use anything you stand by, because if you don't believe in your product enough to give me a 10 times return, because we're the best. We book the phone call, we convert the leads. We're the best in our class. So if it doesn't work with us, it won't work with anybody in my industry. And I tell them that up front. And guess what? All of a sudden, a free month, they put me on the cover. It's crazy what they do when they actually see I have control over the data. Mm-hmm. But you asked me, those are just a few things I think is pretty cool going on right now. I mean, I've actually been talking to Ryan Shute at the Wizard of Ads to get involved with our creative a little bit more on TV, radio, and billboards. Because I know they do a great job and they buy a bunch of media and they leave kind of the story brand behind it, the Donald Miller stuff. So I'm just connecting with all the best of the best. That's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say I'm super excited for HSF. I went last year and that was easily one of the best events that I've ever been to as an exhibitor. Most of these shows you go to as an exhibitor, it's just vendor palooza, and you get there and we're just, hanging out with vendors the whole time. But your event was super engaged. The people there were all ready to learn and actually implement, which was really cool. So I'm stoked for San Diego, and I hope anyone listening to this, if you're on the fence, then you're stupid. You need to get off the fence right now and go book a ticket for it, because it's going to be a good event. So
I think there might be a code. Try this if you're looking for a little bit of a money savings. I think it's Tommy Mello 2024. Try that. If not, message me. But I think it's Tommy Mello 2024. Jim sent me, and I just, one of the things that I want to guarantee people is if you don't get something out of it and it's the end of the event, come up to me and say, dude, this, like, I don't feel like I got the value I spent. I'll just refund you right there. Like, I don't, like, we're trying to cover the cost of this Gino Wickman and Steve Sims and these people and the event and to make it something memorable. And covering the cost is hard to do. I make my money through garage doors, and we do damn good. I don't need to make money selling events. I do this because I want to, and I want to have impact. I want people to know what I stand for. I want to build relationships. I want to network. And I want to see how many lives we could change and make better. And that's what this is about. It's not about anything else. So if you are like, man, Tommy Mello is just another hustler trying to sell tickets, I don't give a shit about, I'm trying to cover costs, and I know I won't, but it's all good because it's all worth it because it's coming from the right mindset. It's not, how much money can I make by selling this event? And that's what I think makes our events different.
Sarah, any closing thoughts?
Nope, I don't have any.
Awesome. Well, Tommy, we greatly appreciate your time. I know it's extremely valuable. I know you keep a busy schedule, so we definitely appreciate you making this work to be on the show today. What's a way for any of our listeners to possibly, like, connect with you or learn more about HSF or A1 or anything that you got going on?
Yeah, I'll go through. So, home service expert, got some great podcasts. Probably some you might not be interested in. There's some ones that changed my life. The Facebook group, Home Service Expert, is free, and people really do. There's 12,500 in there. They really do try to help each other. You could ask any question. You'll get 80 responses. If you want to come to a shop tour, which I actually love, we don't charge for these. It's a way to give back, and it's a way to tell everyone here how proud I am of what they built. It's TommyMello.com/shop. If you want a newsletter, we give a few free out. TommyMello.com/news. No marketing at all in them. It's literally all things. It's mailed physical copy. I do all the interviews with my writing team myself, and it's filled with, like, I think, invaluable information. And Tommy Mello's got all my handles, like official Tommy Mello, Instagram, TikTok, X, LinkedIn stuff. So if you can look me up there, and yeah, I really appreciate this. I got to think about what I want at the beach with 3 things here.
Yeah.
Never got that question before.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, this is great. I really appreciate you guys. And if you ever need anything, you give me a holler. And it's a pleasure to be on here with you.
Awesome. Well, safe travels.
All right.
Safe travels, Tommy.
And that wraps up another episode of The TradeMarke, where we bridge the worlds of the trades and marketing, one story at a time. We can't wait to see you next time. Thank you to the trades for giving back big, loving big, and taking massive action. Don't forget to join us next time for more engaging conversations and innovative ideas. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review and share it with your colleagues and friends in the trades and marketing. Your support means the world to us. Stay connected with us off the air by following us on social media. We'd love to hear your thoughts and get your feedback. Until next time, keep making your mark in the trades. Thank you for listening to The TradeMarke. Goodbye for now, and remember, we're with the trades for the trades.